Well, Jackson, you're right. What a treat for the listeners. How often is it that I want it badly back-to-back shows? But guess what? I want it badly today. Are you going to give it to me? Yeah.
I got a lot going on over here.
Oh, boy. You know, I come in here and I let the audience know I want it, and then you're over there playing with the remote because you want to see if Dan Hurley's going to go to the Lake Show.
Well, I got a lot working against me right now. I left my adapter in the TMA studio.
Is Bradford available, Mike?
And the adapter that I have now, Bradford was kind enough to give me. I can't. It's loose. I can't hear anything. YouTube. It's up. It might be 1 billion degrees in here. Sweating like a grease pig.
With the temperature in the studio.
Hot. I'm struggling.
And the YouTube chat's not up in front of me, and I don't know what to do. I don't have the answer to this. I'm mad. I know I'm mad. I want to get Jackson pregnant. That's from the 314. Well, whatever you're doing, it's working because somebody wants to.
Getting back. I'm getting back slowly but sure. I still can't hear anything.
Pull it together. It's Balloon Party. It's driven by Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota. Critics say it's the greatest 1 hour midday show in town.
Top 5 at least.
Yeah, I agree with that. Get involved on the program. We're giving away Bud Bash tickets today, and those are tickets to next Tuesday's Cardinals and Pirates game, June 11th at Busch Stadium. Jason Isringhausen bobblehead night. Get all the details on the season series of Budweiser Bash Cardinal games at cardinals.com/promotions. Jackson, how do we want to give away the tickets? Is it best text?
Yeah, we'll go best text again.
Look at Mike Ryder. Mike Ryder comes in. Willie wants to know if Lil Piddles is going to do the show Sans shirt. Jackson just disappeared.
What was the question?
Will you do the Piddles? Will Little Piddles do the show Sans shirt? That's Willie in the YouTube chat.
If it's hot, I might have to.
Nice.
We're 0 for 2 on adapters. This one also I can't hear a thing on. My adapter is my magic adapter.
I don't know what to do.
I have a perfect adapter. I just left it sitting in the TMA studio writer on the board. It's on the board in the TMA studio. So Mike Ryder is running. Got game ball to Mike Ryder. Because Lord knows I am not prepared. I'm bad at my job. There's adapters. I don't have them. It's hot. I'm sweating. This is a big show. This is one we circle on our calendar, and I didn't bring it today. But you can bring it by texting in and winning Bud Bash tickets.
All right, Jackson, what is the name of your series of questions today? Because you teased it on TMA, airing on YouTube and 105.7 HD2 and the TMA STL app, celebrating 20 years on July 26, 2004. You teased the Big China and Little Piddles. Is that what it's called?
I can hear again. Oh.
Wow, what a moment.
Today's questions, Tim, Big Trouble and Little Piddles.
There it is.
And now I feel reinvigorated. Thank you, Mike Ryder. Thank you.
So what do we have? Tease the audience what's going on in Big Trouble and Little Piddles.
For sure. So obviously, the Cardinals played yesterday, play again today. So we have some questions about the Cardinals, some discussion about the Cardinals, both big picture and hyper-focused to what's going on right this very second. On top of that, we got some coaching questions.
Coaching questions.
And then Little Piddles' hypothetical odyssey.
Well, I like the hypothetical. Let's start with the hypothetical odyssey.
Okay. Well, this is a meaty one.
Good. Great. Then it's the right thing to do. You know how to stimulate me, boy.
Boy, that's... If they just paid me for stimulating you, I'd be a wealthy man. Which team do you think is truly closer to a championship, the Blues or the Cardinals?
I like the question if it wouldn't have been like the 7th time I've answered it in the last 3 weeks. That's my issue with the question.
Which team winning the Stanley Cup is more important for the growth of the NHL?
That was such a great pivot. I like this question. I don't know do you think there's an answer that's...
I think that you can make cases
I guess if
both.
McDavid goes off and becomes kind of a...
Right. Like
God?
has a storied Stanley Cup run here.
Yeah.
And he goes crazy, and it's like the beginning of the greatness era.
Yeah. I don't know if he's like at that level, though, that can... I don't know if the gap between him and everybody else is as great as it was for like 99.
Sure. That's, yeah.
I don't know if playing where he plays, but I mean, listen, it doesn't matter where you play if you become the dynasty.
Right. Yeah, I would say that is the case. You can play anywhere and if you're a dynasty, you're a dynasty. But, like, if he was on the Maple Leafs right now, don't you think that the NHL would be, like, in much better shape? And that I'm not saying it, but, like, they're probably pretty happy Bedard went to Chicago, in a way.
Yeah. Really happy by the luck of that happening.
Yeah.
The great fortune that happened.
I protect the integrity of ice hockey, and, I think everything is on the up and up.
Part of me thought there was a chance it would go to the franchise that was relocating to Utah, and then just magically it went to the third largest market in the country.
I think that's just, good fortune for Chi-Town.
Yeah, but I mean, let's say that McDavid played for the Blue Shirts, and the Blue Shirts got past the Panthers.
Yeah.
I mean, what would that? You see what I'm saying? Like, then you got a situation.
What's the West Coast team that would be like the Rangers equivalent on the West Coast? Because it's not LA.
I don't think there is one.
Yeah, maybe Vancouver, but even that's a Canadian team.
I don't know. I like this question. I want that to be clear. I just don't. I don't know if I don't know what the scenario is that could lead to this playing a role in growth for the NHL outside of McDavid going off in a classic 7-game series.
Yeah, I think 7 games. You could say that for any series, but I think 7 games. Because if people can witness 7 games with McDavid on the ice.
It's just the ceiling's lower by it being Florida. And I'm not against Florida at all. If anything, that would be my adopted team, but outside of the Blues. But it just doesn't have the cachet of if they were playing at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, and just
I mean, what do you mean? Do you want me to lie to you in here today? Is that what you want?
I prefer if you didn't.
Okay.
And just dreadful uniforms for the Florida Panthers. Just dreadful. Those are so bad.
You like the Oils?
Yeah, I like the Oils. I think royal blue and orange is a good color combo.
The New York Mets.
The
New York Knicks.
Yeah, they make it work. It looks good. And I think navy and orange is also good, like UVA.
We out here sweating and building America. Jackson can't concentrate and do the show because his body temperature has risen a few degrees. Real world Ladue problems. That's from the 314.
Yeah, I feel like Patrick Ewing in the late stages of his career. I'm sweating like a pig.
What about Esteban Yan and Pedro Borbon Jr., 2003 Cardinals? What a bullpen.
Palante was sweating like crazy the other night. God, those road uniforms do not help if you have a sweating problem.
What about Navy caps?
Those always help.
Jackson, how excited will you be to see Petro hoist the chalice with Edmonton? That's from Marcia's Burner.
I can't tell who I'm going to root for in this one. I feel like Florida should be the right answer because of Matthew Tkachuk, but I just really have and I have a lot of friends down in that area of Florida, but I can't get past the uniforms. They're so dreadful. So I guess I'm rooting for the Oil. Break the streak in Canada. I have, shout out to all my Canadians. What's up, Jamie? And I guess I'll root for the Oil and Petro.
The non-ling, you know him, Kevin Lorenz, used to be on TMA. He says, bottom line, American eyeballs are the most important thing for growth of the NHL.
Would agree. I thought the Rangers was that was like what he kept saying. The Rangers Oilers is a great play because you get the eyeballs from America in on the Rangers, and then you capitalize on that with McDavid.
Now, I want to make this crystal clear. When a columnist or even a talk show host, podcast host, whatever, makes the observation that this isn't something that the networks will love. I'm not saying anybody should give a damn about that, but from an observation standpoint, perhaps that might be the case specific to network executives, but who cares about that? Right. I'm talking about from a growth of the game standpoint. I think if you would have had the Rangers in it, you would have had an opportunity for a higher ceiling of growth. Because if the Rangers are in it, then it's going to get more attention. That's what I'm saying. So to draw an analogy, the Cardinals and Tigers World Series wasn't a great World Series.
No.
Wasn't really well played.
No. It
was a 5-game series. The Tigers' one win was called into question with Kenny Rogers' paint. But it also featured 2 markets that weren't necessarily desirable.
Right.
So get yourself a good series with big-time teams, either cachet, because the Green Bay Packers are in a super small market, but the Green Bay Packers have cachet. I would say the Cardinals have cachet, even though the St. Louis is a smaller market. This one is a tough spot. So I'm intrigued to see what happens with it as far as the numbers go, not because I care one way or the other, but if people get on board because you do have one of the best, if not the best player in the NHL, competing for the Chalice.
Yeah, I also wonder if he had just even a touch of like the Austin Matthews panache. You know, I don't think many people know much about McDavid outside of what he does on the ice, and that's probably by design in his mind. But I think if he had some of that where he's on magazine covers or hanging with Bieber or something, like, I don't know, maybe that would do a little bit more. But altogether, when you're as good as he is, you just let your play do the talking.
Best text, huh? Little Piddle should start with explaining how 49 states think they are rooting for the Mavs over the Celtics because Tatum is our local guy. It's from the 618.
I don't understand.
Is that right?
49 states.
They do like a Gallup poll, and 49 of the 50 states are wanting the Mavericks to win?
I would be surprised by that, but if they can...
I would just think in the Northeast alone, with all like Rhode Island's got to be on board too.
I would imagine like a lot of people outside the Northeast would just don't like Boston.
I get that,
yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, congested in there. You have a potpourri of states, tiny land masses.
Yeah, nothing north of Boston sports-wise in that New England area. So, yeah, that would generally surprise me, but, I mean, people love Luka.
10:15 in St. Louis. Jackson's got the big trouble in Little Piddles.
Yep.
Series of questions. Plus, we're giving away 4 Bud Bash tickets for the best text that's voted on by Jackson at 10:55. So send yours in, 314-399-9646. It's the Budweiser Bash Cardinals promotion. This is for next Tuesday's game against the Pirates. Cardinals opening up a series with the Rockies today. And then you've got the Doggies taking on Portland. You got the Battlehawks taking on the Brahmas. What else do you want?
Oh, I got everything.
You got the Celtics and the Mavericks. You got the Oilers, and you've got the Panthers. What else do you want?
Yeah, Saturday you'll have...
Got the Memorial, and then in a week we got the U.S. Open. What else do you want? I don't know. Okay?
I'm happy.
All right, fine. Text in, win the Bud Bash tickets, 314-399-9646. This is Balloon Party, driven by Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota, 101 ESPN. Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota. Online at stlouisacura.com and altontoyota.com. You thinking about a new car? How about a new Acura MDX Premium? You're thinking, yeah, I'm interested, but how much is it going to cost me? How about this? No money down. No money down. That's right. No money down. $589 a month. That's a 48-month lease at Munganess. St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota. Go shopping right now, stlouisacura.com or altontoyota.com, and you can work with the best. And the best is Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota, and Munganess, St. Louis Acura. Even if you didn't get your car from Munganess, go ahead and get your car serviced at Munganess. You'll be thrilled that you did. I've been working with them for a number of years. My family does as well, and they are the official automotive provider of TMA and the Tim McKernan Show podcast and presenting sponsor of Balloon Party. It's Munganess, St. Louis Acura, and Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota. Online at stlouisacura.com and altontoyota.com. Yeah, yeah. Boy, they are fired up in the YouTube chat for the Battlehawks game.
Sunday.
Battlehawks, Brahmas, 6 p.m. Cardinals, Rockies. Sunday afternoon. Then Saturday, Cardinals, Rockies. Portland and City. It's all happening this weekend in downtown St. Louis. Get a hotel and pony up. What a weekend it's going to be. Incredible weather, incredible sports. I'm sold on St. Louis. I'm sold. 1987? 1987?
What's the song name?
I'm sold on St. Louis. I wonder if we can play that on 101 or if it's a copyright thing. I don't know what kind of capital backing that song was, but it was a wonderful song.
1987.
Of course it was 1987. You don't need to look this stuff up. The Cardinals theme song in 85 was The Heat Is On. I think it was Shakedown in 87, but also kind of running parallel was I'm Sold on St. Louis, I'm Sold. The jazzy little pop tune. Have you ever heard it, Jackson?
What, the Cardinals?
I'm Sold on St. Louis.
I feel like we played it one time.
Really? Not on this show.
I think we might have.
Really?
I think so, because we were talking about like Cardinal songs. So we played some Cardinal songs. I believe we played Rasmus Fire Burning in the Outfield, one of my favorite tunes.
Very nice.
And I think something that came up was that song you're talking about from 1987.
I'd love to hear it if you can do it. I didn't know if it was a copyright issue. Over-under for, this is Doggy season ticket holder with a question. Over-under for the Cardinals attendance average for this series, 20 or 25K?
Over.
I'm going over all day, Doggy season ticket holder.
Great
I'll wager
weather.
with you, too.
Yeah, I think people...
Great weather. I know the Rockies are what the Rockies are, and the Cardinals are whatever they are. I don't know what they are.
People overestimate, like when the team's not doing great, that the attendance won't be there. The attendance.
Well, people come from all over the region. Right. That's kind of the core issue.
Or if you're from the Cardinal standpoint, like a huge positive, you know.
Well, I mean, I wasn't saying like issue in a negative. I'm saying if you're handicapping attendance, it's not like angry sports talk radio listeners. It's families from the Midwest and South who say, let's go to St. Louis for the weekend and take the kids to see a Cardinal game. They don't go, well, the wallet. You know, they go, oh, okay, that sounds good. Hey, Jackson's about to play the song. Take a listen to this. Tell me this doesn't make you think of Vince Coleman, Willie McGee, Azie Smith, and Terry Pendleton in the Hubert Humphrey Metrodome blowing the wind in when the Cardinals are up to bat and blowing it out when Gary Gaetti and Ken Herbeck and Kirby Puckett are up. Nice. Yep. Spotlight's on us now, Jackson.
It was Fredbird in a weather balloon.
Never gonna stop. St. Louis. Well, there it was. Tell me it doesn't get you fired up for the 87 NLCS against Jeffrey Leonard and Chili Davis.
I'm fired up. I can tell you they had Ozzy doing a backflip in that video. There is nothing cooler in sports like running out to a field and doing a backflip in front of shortstop. Like that's the coolest thing ever. Also, we talked about coolest athletes the other day, and I completely missed the right answer. The right answer is Ken Griffey Jr.
Ken Griffey Jr. is the right answer.
Coolest athlete ever.
Is that right?
Yeah. Coolest athlete ever.
Would you like to expound on that? I mean, you're just like giving a take, and you're taking and running.
People who know me know that I love the film Little Big League, in which Ken Griffey Jr. is featured.
I think everybody in the audience knows that.
Yeah, he's featured heavily in it, and when he hits the home run, it is as cool of a home run I've ever seen.
Wow, David Freese's home run, not good enough, huh?
He didn't have the swagger that
he just loved the Pacific Northwest.
I would love Seattle.
Coastal City, I guess.
I think I would thrive in the Pacific Northwest.
Why is that?
I like the weather.
It's cloudy.
Yeah, but helps with the skin thing. And I just feel like that's like my place. Outdoors, cedar.
Cedar?
You know.
Wow, that song really effing sucked. It's from the 217. This song sucks. That's from the 314. I hate you guys, but I still listen.
Can we use that for a promo?
That kind of sums it up. I hate you guys, but I still listen. Yesterday was really tough because between TMA, this crappy show, and QFTA, that's my podcast, I had to hate listen for 7 hours. Give me Cardinal tickets so I can hate watch them Tuesday night. I probably only need 1 ticket, though. It's well done.
That was well done, yeah. Your number's been posted.
Little Big League 100% made Griffey my favorite baseball player ever. The home run, and then he robbed home run at the ending. As swaggy as it got. That's from the 636.
Yeah, people should go back and watch a little bit. I think it might be one of the best baseball movies ever. It's awesome. There's not 1, but 2 great baseball montages in there. I mean, it's just dynamite.
Tim, do you remember when they took The Heat Is On and added Cardinal sound bites to it? You better believe I do, brother. It's from the 904. It's the greatest.
The Heat Is On.
With the Cardinal sound bites? Oh, 85 Cardinals? Oh, so strong.
Is that your favorite Cardinal team ever?
Yeah, 100%.
85.
But if you have, like, if you were born in 2010 and you had the 2019 Blues, you'll have the 2019 Blues as the standard forever. It's just, I think that is when you are most open to, susceptible to, whatever term you'd want to use. Impressionable, that's the right word, Jackson. Nicely done. And see, that's Ledoux. Yeah, that's going to be it. So I'm 9 years old, 8 years old when the 85 Cardinals were running around. Absolutely, all day long.
Yeah, it makes sense. Although I would say, 06, I was 8 years old, so I was very much into that team. I think I gravitate more to the 11 team based on the run, and I got really into there was some rivalry there with the Brew Crew, obviously coming off the Reds thing from the year prior. There was and I kind of developed a little bit more of an edge by 13 years old.
Oh, is that right? You were edgy? I didn't know that. What was your deal?
I just got on Twitter.
Street fight? Oh, you just got on Twitter. Well, I get it.
Yeah.
Do you have a dog avatar?
No, I was doing a lot of following of, if you remember Alan Craig's Torty.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite accounts to follow. That's the year I also got really into the Rams. So some would say that was the beginning of the end.
Seattle gets less rain than Phoenix in the summer. It isn't cloudy. It's in the 618.
I did see somewhere like Washington is like the 40th most rain state. Like I think it's kind of.
So it's a misnomer.
Yeah, kind of. Well, I think it might be blown out of proportions. What it is.
I'm trying to think when I've been to Seattle. Yeah, it rained when I run Rams game. I can recall specifically. Was John Kitna quarterbacking Seattle then? I think he was.
What year would this been?
This is 2000. I think that actually at Seattle, it was at Husky Stadium too, because they were in the process of building the new stadium and they had blown up the Kingdome, and that is where Shoot Will Fix It was born. I think it was me, Matt Weiner, and Martin Kilcoyne covering for the respective television stations. And it's like, well, the team's 2-0, but you've given up 300 points in 2 games. Any concern about the defense? Shoot, well, fox odd.
Yeah, Kitna was the quarterback that year.
Of course he was. You don't need to look this stuff up.
He only started 12 games, though.
The sweatpants under gym shorts made him edgy.
Yeah, that was closer to the 06 World Series. When I fell in love with D. Wade.
2011 World Series fan reaction video with Some Nights by Fun is the best Cardinal video ever. It's from the 314. What do you think about that? Have you seen that video?
No, but I remember Some Nights by Fun. That was of a time.
Now, what does that mean? That's so cryptic. I'm sensing condescension. I'm just telling you what I'm sensing over here. And I won't have for it because I'm a meat and potatoes guy, proletariat.
No, it's just like, for those in the know, I think of Nike Elite socks. I think of...
What does this mean for those in the know? Again, it's just like this condescending club.
Like, I think of...
I went to Burroughs, so, we'll talk in our little code.
The flat bill cap. Remember the shutter shades that Kanye once wore that had, like, blinds on the glasses? That's what I think of. White, those glasses when I think of Some Nights by Fun.
Kanye wasn't involved in that.
No, but he was, he was making a style.
Got it. But this is a video about David Freese's home run.
Oh, yeah. Don't I remember it? That's what I think of.
We got to look it up on YouTube. I mean, you played I'm Sold on St. Louis.
Yeah, all right.
All right. Just trying to. The best baseball movie is Air Bud, 7th Inning Fetch. Tell artisanal powder to take his $1,000 Mizzou ticket and stick it where the sun don't shine. That's from the 314. Jackson, is this in reference to you saying on TMA today that you would pay $1,000 if Missouri is hosting a college football playoff game for a ticket?
Yes, I think that is what they're referencing. I would like to play this video.
I would love to be able to afford that.
I would love to play this video, but I haven't screened it prior, and there are fan reactions. There might be cursing involved, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah, not with kids in the car.
Right. Hello, everybody.
Wrong answer. Coolest thing about Griffey was the video game and the backwards hat. It transcended baseball. That's from Andrew.
All right, but we're arriving at the same conclusion that Ken Griffey Jr. is like the coolest athlete ever.
Scorching take. Ooh.
In terms of?
Well, it's about to come in.
Oh, okay.
Who films themselves watching sports? It's narcissistic and dumb. That's from the 314. Here is where I am. And most of the time I'm labeled an optimist. But on this, there's a part of me that thinks that after a significant moment in sports, people stage the videos and then upload them.
By and large, I think I would agree with you. There are some times, Barstool's famous for this, of live streaming the game, like having a camera on people the entire game so you can kind of watch along with them.
Right, but assuming you're not in the Barstool studios.
Right. If it's just a video on Twitter, I think it would be in your right to be dubious. But I'm rarely dubious. I'm just kind of a believer.
Let's see. Benchwarmers is the best baseball movie. Jackson actually was in that movie as David Spade's brother who couldn't be in The Sun. That's from the 217.
It's not a sword. It's not a sword. Swing the bat. What's up, Howie? That's Nick Swardson?
Terrell Buckley.
Terrell Buckley not in it, but Rob Schneider gets to play kind of like the tough guy in it, kind of against type. Good for Rob Schneider.
Your thoughts are welcome because you're going to win Bud Bash tickets. 314-399-9646. Got the YouTube chat as well. And they're in there talking it over. Ryan Crawford's talking to Daniel Harris, and Daniel Harris is talking to Frick James. And he says, Tim, most of the time you're labeled as a meat and potatoes kind of guy, and I agree with him. I'm a meat and potatoes kind of guy.
That's always been your brand. Mr. Relatable. Ambassador for St. Louis.
Thank you.
MC at any of your favorite events.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As long as I can use profanity.
And could be home by 8:30.
Be home by 8 or 8:30. All right, we will. Somebody's mad.
Ooh.
Halfway through the show and have talked about absolutely nothing. That's from Ryan Crawford.
Add that to the promo.
Yep. Jackson, that's on you.
Yeah. I got to be back. I told you from the get-go, I told you I was out of sorts. I was like a chicken with my head cut off. I'm just not in my game. You said you wanted it from the get-go.
I know. That's the thing. If I'm willing to give it to you, why not take it?
I know, and that's certainly on me. So please direct your anger towards me. Put in the text line, and you might win
4 tickets to the Cardinals and Pirates Bud Bash game. Jason Isringhausen and Bobblehead Night. This is Balloon Party 101 ESPN.
This is Action Jackson with a SportsCenter update. That's brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals win yesterday, avoiding the sweep of the Houston Astros. Final score of 4-2. No off day today as they take on the Rockies back here in St. Louis. First pitch tonight is 6:45 p.m. Sonny Gray will be on the mound for your Redbirds. And tonight, Game 1 of the NBA Finals as the Celtics take on the Mavericks to start off the NBA Finals here. Pre-game at 6:30. You can catch that game right here on 101 ESPN. Pre-game at 6:30, tip-off at 7:30. That was their SportsCenter update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Welcome back. This is Balloon Party, 101 ESPN. My name is Timothy Michael McKernan. That's Jackson Bennett Burkett. And Jackson has prepared a series of questions for today's show, and it's called Big Trouble in Little Piddles. Here's his next question. Hello.
Hello, everybody. It's a little something on the Cardinal game yesterday. They stave off the sweep yesterday. Miles Michaelis.
Stave off a sweep.
Yeah, it's a big stave game. He pitched effectively through 62 pitches. And he was
You have no passion for this question. I can tell by the delivery, just so you know. I just want you to know that I know. That's all I want you to know.
Oh, well, he was pulled for the big three to close out the 7th, 8th, and 9th. What do you make of Ali Marmol making the switch so early when clearly Michaelis had more in the tank? We talked yesterday about the ERA spike when seeing the order the third time through. Does it concern you with no off day today heading into a 4-game weekend homestand?
Number one, you owe everybody money for giving people your 5-star lock of the over yesterday on a getaway day, which philosophically is wrong to do.
Right.
Number two, imagine this was a playoff game and the Cardinals are playing the Astros in the World Series and Miles Michaelis got through 6 innings on 62 pitches. Can you even fathom that?
Yeah, I know.
So
I don't think it would happen.
What's the difference?
Getaway day where the other team is flying to LA.
I mean, I'm just curious how people feel about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, this
stuff doesn't happen in the postseason.
No, it does not.
So just an observation. Oh, he was really on. Was he? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's such an indictment.
We're pointing this out for years now. Yeah. So do with that what you want. What questions do you have for me, sir, from Big Trouble in Little Piddles?
Were you on board with Marmol pulling Michaelis so early when he had clearly been effective and had more in the tank?
I don't view it through the same prism of effective. I get what you're saying, and that in a vacuum, if a pitcher has only thrown 62 pitches in 6 innings, you'd go, holy crap.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy might be able to throw a CGSHO.
Complete game shutout.
Nice. But Ali Marmol might be aware, it's getaway day, and boys are flying to L.A. after the game, as in the Astros. Might want to get there early, fire up the apps. Got an off day on Thursday.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah,
we're playing in a bandbox in the deal with the veterans and the younger players, not the banging on trash cans, but hey, listen, you go up there and you either get a hit or an out within 3 pitches or else.
Right.
Yeah,
it's just such an indictment on 162 games in a year. It's just ridiculous. There's no need for that, but I get that it's all money, and it always will be. And so my whimsical side would like to be...
What does your whimsical side say?
And whimsical side would say they should play 100 baseball games a year, 100 regular season baseball games.
Now, you know what I'm going to say to that?
Yeah, it's
a non-starter because now we're cutting revenue by a substantial portion.
Right, and that's an example of completely disregarding the integrity of the sport for money.
By playing 162 games.
Yes, it is ridiculous. That is way too many.
Wow.
It's way too many.
Have you always felt this way, or is this really?
Yeah, always.
Since you were a young tyke at Horton Watkins.
Since I started becoming conscious of this stuff, so probably in high school, I've always said I think all 4 major North American sports play probably too many games. The NFL, 16 was probably about right. 18, which I think they'll want to go to in the next 5 years, way too many. But too many hockey games, too many basketball games, too many baseball games, without a question.
All right, give me your sweet spot for number of games in each sport. For the record, hockey plays 82, because I have a feeling you might not have.
I know it because it's the same as basketball. 100 in baseball.
Okay.
And there should probably be 44 for basketball and hockey.
So you're even cutting down on basketball.
Oh, yeah. The games would be much more exciting if you didn't have to play 82 of them for 48 minutes at a time. That's ridiculous. The games are ridiculously long, too. 48 minutes is a considerably longer basketball game than a college game. 8 minutes makes a big difference.
It is material.
Yeah, so I think I think the NFL 16 is about right. And when you have a money-making machine like that, I honestly understand compromising to a certain extent. But baseball, hockey, and basketball are just considerably too long. Make the playoffs longer. That's what people like. But again, it's money, and I get it.
All right.
Just frustrating, you know?
You came into the show so uplifted, and now I feel like at 10:44, Clarkson Jewelers Time Check, you're beaten down. And you're beaten down by yourself.
Yeah. Well, I think anytime I'm, like, down, it's because of my own doings.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's workshop this.
Well, it could even be external factors coming in, but it's my own reaction to it that causes it, you know? What they do can't dictate what I do, but if I let it, then I can only blame myself.
So right now, you're angry as a hornet about the length of the Major League Baseball season.
Not as a hornet, but it does, I mean, like game like yesterday, it's like, why even do it? Like, why even show up if we're just going to mess around?
We're just going to go up there and flail away at pitches?
Michaelis afterwards was like, is this like spring training where I go to the bullpen after and keep throwing? Like, I actually agreed with the move that Marmol did because I shout out to Bernie on the third time through the order, the ERA spikes by 50% or 100%, double.
This is in reference to Bernie Miklaus's column.
Right.
Scoops with Danny Mac.
Right. So the third time through, there are ERAs in the 6. That's for the starting 5. And so I liked the move. I thought it was like the right play.
Preston S1 says, I love baseball, but because of the expanded playoffs now, I could do 150 regular season games. That's Preston S1.
Yeah, I mean, anything less would be a start. But I think 100 is a good round number that would, have weekend series and have two midweek, like Tuesday and Thursday games, and then have weekend series. And I think you're already in a better place.
Jackson Burkett, fixing baseball, fixing sport on 101 ESPN. That's what Big Trouble in Little Piddles is all about here. You can watch the program and talk it over with your mom's boyfriend and MD 2020 and DJ Patty Cakes.
DJ Patty Cakes.
The YouTube chat. DJ Patty Cake says the past month Sonny Gray has thrown 26.2 innings, bumper sticker, with a 5.49 ERA. I'm not holding my breath, but crossing fingers. That's from DJ Patty Cakes.
He's had some trouble with the long ball. It seems like just a couple pitches every outing get him. And I think like that's probably really frustrating for a pitcher, but from if you're looking at the statistics, you're like, all right, that's better than having a super high whip and allowing base hits all day to get runs in.
Get involved in the program because we're going to be giving away the Bud Bash tickets here in the next segment. 314-399-9646. It's Balloon Party, 101 ESPN. Back, Balloon Party 101 ESPN, brought to you by Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton, Toyota, Tim McKernan, Jackson Burkett with you. Final segment. Jackson's going to give away some tickets, though, right here to the Bud Bash.
Yeah.
Were you on satellite delay there?
I'm just trying to get my feet under me.
What's going on again? Now we had another problem.
Sometimes.
Are you still upset at the thermostat in here?
No, I'm not upset. It's just how we're only in here for an hour. You know, it's not like I have to sweat through this like my guy Tanner. But I'm going to give away these tickets. Okay. It goes Smitty, and he said, "Hey, white bread, take your condescending ass and that washed-up host of yours and hit the trail. Giddy up." And then there's an emoji of a sign that, someone might give.
Again, the satellite delay. Are you freezing up?
Kyrie once gave it to the Boston Celtics fans.
That'll resonate with the audience.
After his.
How about Gary Templeton?
Gary Templeton played baseball for your St. Louis Baseball Cardinals.
That's correct.
And he gave it to
the Ladies' Day crowd.
Oh, how'd that play?
Well, Whitey Herzog emerged from the dugout, dragged him off the field, and then traded him to San Diego. In exchange, the St. Louis Baseball Cardinals received Azie Smith.
Oh, wow. Okay, so
if anything, that was one of the most valuable fingers in the history of St. Louis.
I would say so. Wow. It actually ties in incredibly to my next question.
Oh, nice. Is this the hypothetical Odyssey?
This is not. This one's a little bit more written out. The Athletic's Tyler Kepner wrote an awesome article about Azie Smith and his impact on the Cardinals and how his wisdom still shines through today. I fully recommend people go read this.
I love that. I love a recommended reading piece.
It should be on the front of the Athletic. If not,
how about that?
Tyler Kepner, I'm sure you can find him on Twitter, wrote an awesome article about Azie Smith. Full recommendation. What makes a fan base grow to love a player like St. Louis has loved Azie and vice versa? Are some markets more capable or apt to hold a deeper connection with players? And does it matter how long a player has played in the town? Like, for example, in St. Louis, who had the shortest career here but is still heralded as a local favorite?
David Freese, Patty Maroon. I was having this conversation with someone just a couple days ago. I was out on a sales call, Jackson. And I was saying to our Hubbard radio sales rep and also this person at this business, I said, I think as strange as it might sound, which would sound very odd if you were around here in the 1980s and the first 6 years of the 1990s, but I actually think Azie Smith is underappreciated in St. Louis, which I know kind of maybe sounds strange, but I really, for as much as he continues to do for the community, he lives here. He could live wherever the hell he wants. And the man loves golf. I mean, I'm sure he's got to spend the winter somewhere else. But, he played a huge role in Bellerive getting the 100th PGA Championship. He gives back constantly. Anytime you see the man, I'm in awe of it. I really am. Like, part of me just wants to go, how do you do it? Because if he's walking through a restaurant in St. Louis, he's not going to be able to just get up from the table and get to the door. And he knows it, and he's at peace with it, and he'll stop, and he'll talk with people, and he'll smile and sign or take pictures, whatever the case might be. He's always on. He's always giving. Oh, and on top of that, he's one of the best defensive players ever, and he led the Cardinals to, from my standpoint, 2 world championships, but at the very least, 3 World Series. I mean, I think he's underappreciated for how kind, giving, friendly, talented he is.
Couldn't agree more, Tim. When he was in here about a month and a half ago promoting his new beverage, I shook his hand. Jackson, how are you? It's great to see you. So warm.
He loves the Friday 6-shooter, doesn't he?
I think he's a big hypothetical Azie fan, and he's so warm and kind to anybody who has an interaction with him says the same thing. My brother, whose middle name is Osborne, because of the Wizard. He told him that story when he met him one time, and Ozzy was just so humble and awesome about it. Like, anytime you hear someone say they have an interaction with him, and I wonder, like, what about a player or a city makes that connection work, or is it so case by case that it can't be quantified?
Yeah,
I think that's the case.
I would agree with that. I think that's a nice assessment of it.
Yeah, it's just,
he is, and it's just, I'm just so. I think, again, keep in mind now, he's approaching 50 years of this. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, it's not, but it's 40-plus years of being, when he is out in St. Louis, which is kind of like, you know, I think Matthew Tkachuk, I think one of the reasons why going to Florida was appealing outside of going to Florida was, he can have some anonymity there. Mm-hmm. If he comes to St. Louis, there'll be no anonymity. There sure as hell wasn't any anonymity when you're one of the best players in the NHL and you're playing in Calgary. So some guys like it, some guys don't. I think after a while, I would imagine it's got to get exhausting for most people. But here's Azie Smith with close to a half a century of this in St. Louis as a Hall of Famer, as a part of some really, really good teams and some championship teams. And I really am in awe of it. Yeah. I truly am. I suppose Stan Musial had the same kind of thing going, kind of predates me, but I mean, I did have interactions, same kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah. You know, I think it's also such a testament to how, especially Midwestern cities, much like St. Louis, the sports teams there are such a big part of the city's identity. You know, it's how you rally people together. It's such a deep part of the identity. And so when you have someone who's such an incredible representative of that city, like Azie Smith, the connection is molded there and it stays there forever, especially when a guy years after his playing career still lives here. He's not from here, you know, still lives here. It's such like it's awesome. And yeah, I agree with you. He's underappreciated. The Wizard of Oz is this generation's Stan the Man. Too many horrible takes in 1 hour. Oh, and comedy comes in 3, so that's the final part of the promo. Too many horrible takes in 1 hour. And that's the promo for Balloon Party. Yeah, and then just right into the big voice guy. And here's Tim and Jackson. How about this? QFTA today, fellas. Yesterday was lit, no cap. That's from the 636. We had 3 hours of QFTA. Jackson's had enough. I'm load managing today. I need the night off. Daniel Harris says AJ McKernan and Azie Smith are on similar levels of popularity in St. Louis. Come on. You want to go up against Daniel Harris? Yeah. Oh, wow. I got a showdown. I'm appreciative of AJ McKernan. You know, he had an NFL spot and he came back because he wanted to. He was right here in this hallway a couple weeks ago. I didn't notice you chirping him then. I'm not chirping him, but we're putting him on the same level as my mother. This is Daniel is putting him on the same level as Ozzy. I would disagree. That's not a shot at AJ McKernan. It's more of a credit to Ozzy. I don't think anyone's honestly at Ozzy's level. How about that? Of like city ambassador, him and Wayno, I would say. I mean, I love Adam Wainwright, but I mean, Azie Smith was doing this, I think, maybe before or right around when Adam Wainwright was born. I mean, that's how long it goes back. That's the truth, man. And it's day in and day out. When he leaves his house, he knows that there will be no privacy. Now, if he goes to Los Angeles or New York, he can walk around in relative anonymity, you know? But here, it's all the time. And it's been that way for 40-plus years. And he's just always kind and always giving back. I can't say enough about him. So as weird as it is, I think he's underrated. Yeah, my mom just texted me that when she interviewed him years ago, it was like the nicest guy ever, gave her so much time, so kind and warm. And that's just every time I hear a story about someone seeing Ozzy or talking with Ozzy, it's the same thing. Yeah. Never hear like, oh, I don't have time for you. I won't take this picture. I won't talk with you. Not the case. Bring it, pal. Has Azie Smith brought football home? That's from Daniel Harris. No, but I will. You will bring it? Oh, I have big plans for my future. Well, he was talking about football. Oh yeah, that's part of it. I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. But it's unfortunate because the program's coming to a conclusion. You've given away the Bud Bash tickets to Smitty. Yeah. BK and Ferrario are coming up next. For Jackson Bennett Burkett, I'm Timothy Michael McKernan. This has been Balloon Party, driven by Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota on 101 ESPN and the 101 ESPN YouTube channel.